Yo guys, what is up? Max here in our Elden Ring video, and today we're going over the top 5 talismans that pretty much every player should have. These are talismans that, like, regardless of the build or the character that you're playing, you're just going to want to have these, and today we're going to show you which ones those are and exactly where to acquire them. I hope you guys enjoy the video. If you do, be sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe. Also, I stream every day at twitch.tv/Moxie. Alright guys, let's get into the video. So coming in at our number 5 spot, and these aren't in like a super particular order just because different talismans will be more useful or less useful to you depending on how you like to play, but our number 5 is the Lance Talisman. Now this is going to increase your attacks on horseback. I did the math and it's a 15% damage increase while on horseback. The interesting thing about this one is not only does it apply to your weapon, but it also applies to all spells cast while on horseback. So a lot of the field bosses in this game, a lot of the dragons, there's just so many things that you're going to end up fighting on horseback or are easier to fight on horseback. Getting a damage increase to both your weapon attacks and your spells on horseback is a huge advantage, and you can pick up this talisman super early on in the game. The Lance Talisman can be found in Limgrave. That's why I said you can find it really early. It's right on this corner underneath this bridge here. I personally spawned at the War Master Shack and just like rode my horseback underneath the bridge all the way until I got right here. Coming in at our number 4 spot is the Gold Scarab, an item that a lot of players will want to have. It's going to increase the runes that you obtain from defeated enemies. And in a game where sometimes it can be very difficult to kill a boss until you're a higher level, and your level is very much associated with the amount of damage and your survivability, getting more runes from enemies so you can level faster, especially if you're planning on farming runes, is just a really nice item to have. To get the Gold Scarab, you're going to want to follow the road from Limgrave all the way into Caelid, and just follow the road down until you get to the Smoldering Wall checkpoint. Head directly east of the Smoldering Wall. You'll see some trees going across like a ravine, and if you hop on the trees and follow through, you will get into the Abandoned Cave. The bosses at the end of the Abandoned Cave will give you the Gold Scarab. Note there is a lot of rot in this cave, so bring some crafting items to alleviate rot, or some incantations that relieve you of rot, because it is easy to die of the rot curse or the rot ailment while you're in there. At our number 3 spot for talismans that all players should have, we have the Great Jar's Arsenal. Now, the reason I'm including this is because some of the best armor in the game is very heavy. In fact, I've not been able to wear most of the best armor because it's been too heavy and I don't want to be fat rolling. So if you want to wear some of the coolest and craziest and highest defensive armor in the game, this is an item for you. Now, Great Jar's Arsenal, currently I'm at a 72 equip load. If I equip this jar, I'm going to go to 85, which allows me to wear armor that I normally wouldn't be able to, which is going to up my defense. This is great for survivability. It's great to wear some of the heavier sets, and as you can see, this is now a set that I can wear, but if I took off this jar, I'm now fat rolling, aka I couldn't use this set, so it's really nice for defensive purposes and overall just a good thing to have. To get this talisman, you're going to need to make it all the way over to the Siofra River. The checkpoint or the grace you're looking for is the Below the Well. At the Below the Well grace, there's a lift that's going to require 2 stone sword keys to go up. When you go up that lift, you'll make it to the deep Siofra well, which will bring you to this area where this giant jar is. This giant jar is going to ask you to kill 3 NPC invaders. They're on the ground here. You basically just summon them. I've already killed them, but you summon them, kill them. You need to kill all 3 without dying, and once you do, it'll just give you that jar. At our number 2 spot, we've got the Carryon Filigreed Crest. Now, this is going to lower FP consumed by skills. The Ash of Wars in this game are crazy, or the weapon special abilities. So many weapons have really crazy special abilities that will dominate enemies for you, and to be able to use them more without requiring as many mana flasks is a super strong perk. Genuinely, like, there's certain Ash of Wars that will just destroy the game for you, and so being able to use them more is super important. Now, there's multiple ways to get the Carryon Filigreed Crest. So the ideal way to get this item, or the way you're supposed to, is you're supposed to go to the Mistwood Ruins. At the ruins, you'll hear a howl. Once you hear that howl, you're going to want to travel over to the Church of Ella. Talk to Ella, he will give you an emote, and then you're going to have to return back to the Mistwood Ruins. When you get back to the Mistwood Ruins, do the emote where you heard the howl, and Blad will show up. You're going to talk to him. He's going to task you with killing the forlorn hound in the Everjail. Once you go to this Everjail, kill that hound. He'll pop up at the outside of it. You talk to him, and then you're going to want to head all the way up to the road to the manor where the war general is, or the war counselor. Talk to him, go through the dialogue options, and tell him that Blad sent you, and then he will offer the Carryon Filigreed Crest in return. Now, I did not do any of that, and I was still able to get this because I was doing the Randy quest line and interacting with Blad, and then I talked to the war counselor. So if you don't do that, I think you're still fine. I didn't do any of that, and I was still able to purchase this item and told him that Blad sent me. So yeah, that's how you get that item. Real quick, before we get into our number one, just an honorable mention to the Ritual Sword Talisman. Now, this is going to increase all of your damage by 10% while you're at full HP, whether that be spells, incantations, or attacks, and is great for trying to deal out as much damage possible as quickly as possible. And it stacks additively with other buffs, meaning if you're using the Lance Talisman that I showed you earlier that gives you 15% more damage while you're on horseback, this is going to give you, with that, 25% increased damage while on horseback if you're at full health, which is amazing for shredding the bosses that you need to shred while you're on horseback. The Ritual Sword Talisman can be found at the Lux Ruins right as you get to the Altus Plateau. You can go to the Erdtree Gazing Hill and go around and then up, or if you have the Grand Lift of Dextis Grace, you can just go straight up this hill. There's a little cellar that you're walk through, kill the boss, and after the boss, there's a chest that'll give you this talisman. Finally, we're at our number one spot, and once again, like, different talismans will have different usefulness, but I've basically used this, never taken it off since I got it. It's been so helpful to me, is the Ratagon Sword Seal. This is going to give you +5 into Vigor, +5 into Endurance, +5 into Strength, +5 into Dexterity, and it's pretty easy to get. This talisman is amazing. It does increase the damage that you take, but it also gives you more HP, so the effects seem to balance themselves out pretty nicely. I haven't taken this thing off the whole time I've used it. I'm even a faith build, but it allows me to get the strength and dexterity requirements to use the weapons I want to use without having to dump too many points into those stats. Now, to get the Ratagon Sword Seal, you're going to want to come to Fort Feroth in Caelid. From Caelid, basically, you're going to want to come into here and go all the way up. You're going to take a left here, and then you're gonna run straight forward, go up this ladder. Now, this area is a little bit scary. There's a lot of difficult enemies here, but you can just run past all of them. Keep going straight, jump down into this little cellar. You're gonna jump across, go around this corner, jump down, and then right here is where the item will be. I already grabbed mine, but just showing you there. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for the list. Thanks so much for watching. I should have my guide for the top 5 best incantations for mid to late game out tomorrow, going over some of the craziest incantations you can get. So if you're not subscribed already, be sure to do so. I will catch y'all on the next one, guys. Take care. Peace.